like to introduce our next speaker, Idan. Idan grew up on a kibbutz in Israel, and it was in Israel that she first got involved with Standing Together, one of the key organizations behind the July 1st peace event in Israel. She is currently a rabbinical student at Hebrew College and is one of the lead organizers establishing a chapter of Friends of Standing Together in Boston area.
Hi, can you hear me? I'll try to be quick because of the sun. It's hard to believe it's been almost 9 months since October 7th. 9 months of an ongoing nightmare for all of us. I'm sure that I can speak for many of us here when I say that it's been surreal trying to hold the gap between being here in New England, where the beautiful seasons came and went, and life seems more or less normal, all the while following the devastations back home. The humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza, with a death toll of now over 38,000, majority women and children, over 80,000 injured, over 1 million displaced, and hunger prevailing. This cannot be justified. The horrific attack by Hamas, the ongoing hostage crisis, the displaced Israelis from the north and from the south, settler and state violence running rampant in the West Bank, and so many more crises, social, physical, and economical, hitting every day. This too cannot be justified. It's becoming increasingly clear to many of us here that this war has much more to do with Netanyahu's desire to stay in power than the safety of the Israeli people.
Right.
Or the safe return of the hostages. It is obvious to many of us, that this war is a catastrophe for the Palestinian people, but let me be clear, it is also a catastrophe for the Israeli people. Woo! This situation cannot continue forever. It's completely unsustainable. The war will end, the siege will end, the military occupation will end, and Palestinian statehood will be established.
Inshallah.
The only question is how this will happen and how long will it take. In order to win not just a ceasefire, but a long-term solution for everyone in the region, we must reject the idea that we're either siding with Israelis or Palestinians and choose instead one side: humanity, equality, justice, and a thriving future for all between the river and the sea. Because no one is going anywhere. This will require us to grapple with the true equality. This will require us to grapple with what true equality and justice will mean for Palestinians who have systemically been denied basic human rights for decades. And it will also require us to grapple with what Israelis and Jews around the world need in order to keep fighting for ourselves in a way that understands Palestinian liberation and safety as essential and necessary for our own safety and well-being as Israelis and as Jews. Because a lot of people are confused, but it's pretty simple. Israeli and Jewish safety are intertwined with Palestinian safety and liberation, and vice versa. While it is important to fight for this vision here in the U.S., I believe that ultimately we will need Israelis and Palestinians on the ground who are fighting for and believe, in this vision in order for it to work in practice. True just peace cannot come from external pressure alone, nor can it come from the fantasies of people who are not on the ground living the conflict itself. True peace can only be made between people who previously saw each other as enemies. And this movement exists, and it is growing, and we who live outside of that land have an important role to play in supporting them. This is why we're out here today, and they certainly need our support. Peace activists and organizers on the ground are risking their livelihood, their social status, and their physical safety every single day to promote this vision in an often hostile society where freedom of speech and protest have been significantly eroded. They need us. They need our emotional, spiritual, and yes, also our financial support in order to do this. They are up against a militarized police state and civil society right-wing organizations well-funded from overseas. The conference, yes, shame. The conference that will happen tomorrow in Israel, that we have all come here to support, is a big and important step in promoting the necessary political will for peace amongst the people. I see us all, everyone here, as part of this big movement. We have a huge role in counteracting the despair and cynicism here and there, in creating an alternative majority in Israel-Palestine that fights for peace, for true, just peace, and we will win. But we need to work together to broaden the tent. This is important. We need to reach for each other and for those who are not yet with us in bold new ways. We've all been in such pain since October 7th, all of us, which makes this so hard to do. How many times have we each felt angry, victimized, blamed, irritated in the past 9 months? Where can we stretch ourselves and reach for those with whom we disagree, honor their pain, and invite them to see this movement as a potential political home for them as well, even if we don't agree with everything? Can we notice when we are quick to argue, cancel, or feel victimized, especially on social media, and find the courage to soften towards ourselves and towards the other, even for one hot moment? This is a crucial time where we must do all that we can to make sure that our worst predictions don't come true and that our best hopes still should stand a chance. And this movement in Israel has helped me believe that they still do. There are no guarantees that any path will work. We need to pave it. We need to create the odds instead of waiting for them. Hope is not a belief that everything will be all right, but rather taking action to make things better. It's an act of deep faith, and it's sorely needed right now. Noah, one of the organizers of the peace conference tomorrow, who lost both his parents in October 7th attacks, said about hope, "I don't keep hope going, I build hope." This is what I've learned from a Palestinian peace activist named Hamza Awoude from Ramallah. Hope is something you make. So I'm making hope. And I'm always making hope together with other people. Hope is like love. You make it, and you can't make it alone. Woo! Thank you for coming here today. Thank you for coming here today to send a clear message to the peace organizers in Israel-Palestine that they are not alone, that they have our backs in this difficult but holy work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Idan.